Welcome to Withdraw Consent. I'm Victor. This is Jack. What's our topic today?
Okay, so our topic is going to be one that's going to make many people very angry.
Oh, good.
We're going to discuss libertarianism.
Okay.
So first of all, would you define what libertarianism is just off the cuff?
Yeah, I would say it is just everyone kind of does their own thing and they make their own choices and they're not really governed by anything.
Right. So I would describe it, just without even having looked up the definition, as if it doesn't infringe on somebody else, it can't be a thing. You know what I mean? Like, you could do whatever in your domain you want, as
Right.
long as it's not infringing on another human beings, or even like really cruelty to an animal. But,
Or affecting them in any way.
right.
Okay.
And so it's
Yeah.
kind of just leave me alone, and I'll live my happiest life.
Mhm.
But also don't tread on me, because if you come within my domain and try to take those rights, I'll be very angry. You know?
Okay.
And so I think libertarianism is one of the most beautiful political ideologies you could have, right? If you got a bunch of good people, we'll say 1 million good people in a country, and you popped them all in there, and they were just libertarians. And they had a little government, but it didn't really do much, because it doesn't need to do much. Everybody's just respecting each other's rights. I think it's beautiful, right? We should all be libertarians, right?
I feel like I identified as a libertarian for a long time.
Oh, for the majority of my life, I agree.
Okay.
So I grew up reading Robert Heinlein.
Of course.
Okay, science fiction author from 50s, back
Yeah.
then. And he would always say, you can, well, there's a famous saying, but, you can swing your fist as much as you want until they come in contact with my face. And he always said that he just wanted to be free to smoke his pipe on his porch, And so I picked up a lot of that from him. And then I became an adult and matured. And I realized that libertarianism is still the most beautiful of political ideologies, but it's also the very worst. And let me give you my reasoning why.
Okay.
If you take a country of 1 million people and say 999,000 of them are libertarians, good people, just really good people, and you take 1,000 of them and they're just authoritarians, what are they going to do? They're going to come to power. They're going to be in control. They're going to make the rules. And all 999,000 libertarians are going to be, well, I just said it. What was the, don't tread on me. They're going to say, don't tread on me. Don't come to my house. They're at my neighbor's house. They're taking their rights, but hey, you know what I mean? And so what I'm saying is libertarianism is kind of defensive in nature. It's assuming the good human nature of others and that, right? And that people will respect your boundaries. And it's easily susceptible to being controlled by people who don't believe in your same moral ideologies at all.
Okay.
So if you said that you were, okay, here's what libertarianism needs. Libertarianism needs a bunch of authoritarians, like really strong authoritarians who were still libertarians, which doesn't seem to make sense, to go take power away from the bad authoritarians,
Right.
who are taking advantage of the nice libertarians' rights, and then in an authoritarian manner enforce the libertarian views. Do you know what I'm saying?
Implement libertarianism, right.
But just pure libertarianism is like, oh, authoritarianism is bad. Then you will be ruled.
Right.
You will be the servant of the authoritarians.
Yeah, and the authoritarians can have any doctrine that they want.
Right.
But they're just willing to exert their power over people. That's the only difference.
Right. And so this is another huge flaw in the libertarianism thing, is that authoritarianism is not bad. It's literally not bad. It's what are you being an authoritarian for, like you were saying.
Right.
Are you being an authoritarian to keep, children protected and safe, and we will crack down on anybody who go be an authoritarian.
Yeah, right.
If it's to manipulate children and abuse them, then you're the bad authoritarian. And that libertarians are libertarian is a beautiful look into their soul, and they're wonderful. And I think I was wonderful for being a libertarian. I'm sure you were too. But libertarians who don't want to be authoritarians need to support authoritarians who support libertarian values. I know it's getting a little, but I'm correct.
But it's like a paradox, or it just,
Yeah.
they shouldn't go together, but somehow it needs to go together.
Right. And so you sit on your property and say, hey, don't enter my domain. And now I'm going to grab my rifle and I'm going to go to the march and I'm going to do an armed protest with my authoritarian leader who's promoting libertarian, because we won't be tread on.
Right.
Because the whole don't tread on me doesn't make any sense. It's just you're waiting for people with guns to come to you. And then you got a shot at it. you're not going to succeed.
You just made a whole other set of people mad.
Right. But what I'm saying is, it's the community that can say, don't tread on me.
Right.
And so the purest libertarianism is just don't tread on me. You know?
Don't tread on us.
Right. Don't tread on us is just an incredible, beautiful. It's us as a community. You are not coming down that road.
Right.
And so that's also, though, kind of a more authoritarian thing to say, because it's breaking away from the individualism of the libertarian and saying to form a community in order to enforce things, but good things.
Right.
So just my point is that if you can't understand what I'm saying right now, and you're in the 999,000 people out of the million, you are just going to be a slave. You're a beautiful person, and your ideology is beautiful, and you will lose everything. You will lose all your rights, your freedoms, your wife, your children. You'll lose it. Or if not them, then to your grandchildren. It will be lost, all of your freedom. So what we need more of is we need more authoritarians. If you don't want to be an authoritarian, I'm fine with that. Then I need you to support authoritarians.
Who are standing up for good things.
For good things.
Yes.
Like all of our videos, one of the central focuses of our videos, and we're just saying, hey, what's in the best interest of the American people? Because we are judging our government, the Uniparty and the agencies and all that, by, like, for example, I'm just going to interrupt myself right there.
Okay.
For example, they said that was the CIA, the Twitter files, or it was CENTCOM. So the military was using Twitter as they were using it as a propaganda machine, in foreign areas. I'm not against it, honestly. I'm against the government censoring through there, but I'm not against the government even making fake accounts and doing bots and stuff. But the question is, what are you doing with it?
Yeah, to what end are they influencing people?
Right. Are you trying to trick people who would never commit a crime into joining a conspiracy and committing a crime so you can get the big bus? No, I'm not interested. But what if you were trying to go on there to promote family values or, you know what I'm saying?
Right, protecting kids.
Protecting kids, right. And so...
everyone's programmed. We're really going off topic.
Right, well, I'm fine with that.
Yeah. But I mean, everyone's programmed. You're watching TV and all that. There's threads through all that. What is the thread that you're getting programmed with?
Right.
That's all comes down to good or evil.
Right. Because propaganda, if it's good propaganda, like, the more you know, from television.
Yeah.
And if the more you know is teaching you good things like, oh, fathers, stay in the lives of your children. Okay, the more you know.
Good.
But if it's, hey, you should do something, I'm not even going to go into what. Say you should treat your kid in an outrageous way that's immoral and unnatural, we'll say, then no,
Right.
And so that's where we're going with it. So libertarianism, the idea, good. You agree?
Yeah, totally.
And then it's just a dead end, though.
On its own, yeah.
On its own, it's a
it
dead
kills
end.
itself.
Right.
Right.
And so if you're a libertarian who is not willing to be an authoritarian to get those values for your community, or to support another authoritarian who will get those libertarian values for you, then, I mean, you're just as bad as the other people who I also detest, like the people who are working in the disinterest of the American people. But you're just as bad of those because you're kind of consenting to it through inaction.
Right.
Unless you're 90 and you're a papa and you're in your cabin and you say, that's fine.
Yeah.
Even then, you could actually, you got a lot of value to put into them. And what do you think?
That's an incredible way of looking at libertarianism. That's kind of mind blowing that it's just how it is. So if you guys know anyone who's libertarian, have this conversation with them. Like, explain the 990,000 versus the 1,000 and see if you get some good responses. We'd love to see if your favorites in the comments below. We'll pin our favorites, and we'll see you guys next time.